The guy tweeted, again, he tweeted decorrelated question mark. Do you read into that being this thing will be decorrelated in a bullish narrative? Is that what we're supposed to get from it?
Exactly. No, I don't know if you remember back in his early videos, he talked about this.
I'm sort of an RH historian in a way, so I may remember this. Yeah, what did he talk about?
Hart's Law. Remember the Hart's Law thing? He talked about bond liquidity, right? And decorrelation, why Hex had a lot of USDC that was backing it, and less Ethereum. That was his whole, that design made Hex really, really valuable because when Ethereum dipped, Hex could still moved up, right? So you remember how that worked early on. Well, Richard's the same person. He understands that you can't tie Ethereum bonding and value to PulseChain. Hence the reason DAI is the main thing, not Ethereum. So that makes a big difference because we really need to move independently of these other things. So we don't really need a lot of those tokens over here to be bonded to our tokens. We need other things of better value, like stable coins and stuff, which is where it's all at. Yeah, it's me. If you have lots of stable coins over here, and especially our algorithmics, like with Liquid Loans and Power City and Coast and stuff, things are easily backed by fiat. That's a much superior place to be than speculative assets that go up and down in value, bond liquidity too. And that's what would you? Richard's thinking. He's paying 40 chess with all this. What he's doing.
What would you? What could we look for to see more decorrelation from what we have today? Like what moves? Either the OA can make, or you just see happening in the ecosystem where you'd be like, oh, we are moving towards like full decorrelation. Like, full decorrelation doesn't make a lot of sense, but like we're becoming more decorrelated.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. As Richard injects capital and buys up his assets he likes, that decorrelates us further because there's more value associated tied to those assets. So he brings a bunch of DAI in across a bridge, boom, there you go. Right. And that's just how you do it. And eventually, if we get some whales who want to earn extra money, and then want to stay safe, they take our stable coins like USDL and Coast and PXDC, and they go over to Ethereum and bond them with the stable coins over there. So now you have two chains with stables that go back and forth. And eventually we're going to have a very, very seamless interoperability solution through whoever's going to do it to allow us to do cross-chain swaps and everything, and which we'll be able to automate with Tetra. That's really going to make this chain pop. And I think that's going to be the silver bullet that really makes us really, really grow, is that type of technology once it's available. And so that's just something to hope for in the future.
So you're thinking stable coins paired with the blue chips is the big move for decorrelation?
Stable coins paired with stable coins. You have a whole bunch of, say, USDL paired with DAI and on Ethereum, see? So people can be on Ethereum and trading the tokens. You see, so this money the value is locked a multi-chains. It gives more value on our chain, because it's bonded liquidity. If someone will take USDL and Ethereum on Ethereum and do it, great. It's even better. You see.
So that's kind of how you look at PulseX. Mm-hmm. Just to give people an example too. So we're going to look at PulseX and farms. What screams more decorrelation? What would you expect to see here?
Well, when you look at if you look at the DAI pulse pair, it's the highest APR, right? And the most liquidity. There's your decorrelation factor. There's your layer one tied to a stable coin. If that was Ethereum, it wouldn't do that because Ethereum is up and down, because Bitcoin's up and down. But this alone, right here, that one pair shows you that that's a massive decorrelation. That's 50%. Well, let's not say 50%. That's a chunk of the liquidity. But you get the Hex Pulse also, which is a lot more liquidity. And Hex is mostly tied to USDC, also on Ethereum. So you got it's a little more it's still correlated to a point because of Ethereum bonding too, and the pairs over there, but it's not as much as obviously Pulse. So they all kind of help each other, but that move alone, what Richard did with that one LP pair it tells me all I need to know. That I don't have to worry about what Ethereum does because Pulse can act independently. All Richard has to do, or the OA, whoever, has to inject capital and bring more in and buy more Pulse. The price goes up.
There's over probably $150 million of liquidity or more, maybe close to 200 right here. And there's only 15 million of WETH tied to Pulse.
Exactly.
Very interesting.
Because it's just a lesser play if you know what you're doing. you would want that. You don't want. I mean, people can do it themselves, the individuals, but as far as the real value is in the DAI. Because again, Ethereum is just tied to Bitcoin. It's all bonded with Hart's law. So this having stable coins as your main asset value asset on the other side of the pair is far superior to anything else, because in your asset is real value backing it, not just speculative value. So you think about Pulse and PulseX on that pair alone. If you look at it, it's got a lot of liquidity, doesn't it? But its APR is lower. Reason being is because they're locked together. And PulseX really only goes up because of DAI Pulse, right? That's where the value is. Now you get people pulling it around, dumping PulseX or Pulse and all. But in the day, they're bonded hip to hip, so to speak. So they're always going to move in tandem. Though they may ratio it differently, they're still going to move in tandem. So you pump a bunch of Pulse, it's going to pull up PulseX. Unless a whole bunch of people dump a bunch of PulseX, Pulse is still going to stay pretty good in value because of the DAI.
So we're looking for a $10 million of DAI being bridged in. Is that going to kick us off?
It'd be nice. It'd be a big green candle, right? So it'd probably bump us up, 50, 75% where we are now. It's just a nice, good pump. That's what. But again, you need the money to come across, and that's what we need, either through the Bridges Bridge or either the Coast or wherever, or BSC and SparkSwap Bridge, whatever bridge that people are going to use. We got to get the money to come in. And that's a solution for our problems with value right now.